Blair, but we're not endorsed by them. This is a review blog. According to the DCMA Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
I don't know. Okay, so this here is Saturday.
Saturday.
And we just got back from Big Wow Toy Show.
No, not Big Wow.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of comics.
The Super Time Tunnel Toys,
Super
Show.
Toy.
And
2015.
Yeah. At last we have both Cat and Marx cards actually doing it immediately after the show, otherwise it'll be 3 months.
I couldn't do it last year because I was handling all these little PVC like toys and stuff. Then we went to this pizza restaurant and pretty sure the guy didn't wash his hands or something. So between all the diseased petri dish that you're surrounded by at the toy show, plus the kind of skanky pizza that we had, I got really, really sick last year. And it lasted like 2 weeks.
Then I got it after you did.
Yeah, I probably infected you sideways.
Infected you.
But, so this year,
hopefully... We washed our hands.
Avoiding that. Yeah, I scrubbed my hands with disinfectant this time.
Although Linda Blair, the actress from The Exorcist and that other movie, was there, we did not get her autograph.
Yeah, the line was moving kind of slowish, and at that point, I'd already been on my feet for like 4 hours, and I've only got so much juice, you know, during the course of the day. So I kind of tapped out.
I could still go back tomorrow, or probably won't.
Actually, she won't be there tomorrow. She
won't be there tomorrow.
Saturday only. The guest tomorrow will be, forget the actress's name, Schoen or Schoen.
Well, she was pretty much done this time anyway. Like,
yeah, the thing to do is like get in line like as soon as you get in there and just knuckle under.
But the line was going around the block, and
it was really long.
4 hours later, although there was less of a line, she took an alleged 15-minute break and didn't come back. So she might have come back 20, 30 minutes later, but we were gone.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure after signing for 4 hours, her wrist
probably said, "Oh, the heck with it."
But well, I mean, she was there for her charity.
Yeah, it was fine. But yeah,
you know,
but we just weren't impatient and didn't.
Well, I was just kind of tired at that point, and really, I mean, it's not that I wouldn't have loved to have gotten her autograph, but I'm not really in the autograph game.
I sort of am.
I do have some, but I don't know. Waiting in line for an hour to cough up $40 is. Honestly, at that point, really the main reason is because even though I said I was going to be a good boy with my budget, when we got there, I kept running into sellers that were selling Disneyana, which you probably tell from my shirt, but I am a Disney aficionado.
Actually, that shirt is so unusual that I don't think...
If you are like me, a Disney aficionado, I don't even have to tell you who this is on my shirt. You already know. And you know that this is good Figment versus bad Figment, and you know what I'm talking about if you are a Disney fiend, as I am. But yeah, so my particular area of collecting interest is pins. I got bit by the pin bug, and so I've been collecting Disney pins for years and years, and I just got way too many.
I collected Star Trek pins back in the day.
Oh yeah, although they never made a whole lot of those, but.
They made enough. I got a box full of them somewhere. A little box full of them.
Probably are collector's items. I never really looked into them, but the pin market is surprisingly robust, even after all these years.
As are Transformers. My forte, as you would see from the collection all around me. As I went fonk in the nipple.
Punch my right nipple, which is also my forte.
He's into that.
Not really. Please
Not
don't.
really.
Please don't tweak my nipples if you ever meet me.
I didn't tweak it. I punched it.
Oh, but you will later. That's true. But yeah. So.
Gaze into my nipples of the future. I'll see the future.
So it was.
The line from Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh yeah. Or was that Ren and Stimpy?
Ren and Stimpy.
I think that was Ren and Stimpy. But. Yeah, so very much like the toy show goes every year. It's a huge, huge warehouse-sized assortment of... what you typically see an awful lot of are people with... specifically, I'd want to call them like boy-centric toys, like robots, cars. Seems to be about 2/3 of the market is for toys that guys our age and older grew up with. A lot of dolls, though. And comic books, always tons and tons of comic books. I was tempted by some, but I'm kind of glad I didn't buy any, just because I was looking at the prices and they were all over the map, and I was just thinking, I want to do my homework before I start spewing out money for comics. But the Disney pins, I know what those are worth, so I know what the fair price is, and I actually got some pretty good deals, so I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah.
But now you bought, instead of, well, you did buy some Transformers.
Oh yes, I bought the Transformers.
Your better find was actually some Star Trek figures.
Yes, I bought some Star Trek figures. It's the same guy from last August. Yeah, he and I had gone for 2 days in August because I figured, wow. And the guy was selling some Star Trek figures that were unusual.
Yeah, he had some
for about $1 each,
ones.
yeah, I kept telling him those are probably worth more than $1. But if you want to sell me,
although normally you wouldn't tell the seller that, you'd be like, $1? How about if I give you $0.25 for it and settle on 50 cents, even though they're probably worth like $10 each, some of them.
Well, I figured he was an old guy from the '60s and stuff, so
nice guy.
Yeah, so.
But well, you told him, and he was just like, "Whatever, they're $1." Like, he's probably just looking to clear out some storage space.
Yeah. Now the guy I got the Seacon Transformers from, it's about half of the collection. It's
it's like bits and pieces.
4 of them and some of the other stuff. There was the last Gestalt they made of the Transformers Generation 1, and they became collectible because of that. Exclusively,
right?
But what even having pieces of the collection,
he was selling pieces of the collection,
and he was selling each piece for about $6 to $9, and which would have made the whole thing well over $50. But I got the 5 pieces for $30.
Yeah, you were actually able to haggle.
It didn't have any of the weapons or anything. It would have been more, but yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing I've found about the Disney pin collectors sellers. Even at a toy show, they don't really haggle because they know what the pins are worth too. And
well, if they got them in a felt case, they probably know what they're doing.
Yeah, if they got to open a glass case to get you your pin, they don't have to sell it to you because somebody else will come along. Whereas the more obscure stuff, if it's like a plastic lunchbox of the A-Team from the '80s, who knows when a buyer's going to come along and want that. So if they're asking 10, you can say, "I'll give you 5 for it." But the Disney pins, you don't really haggle for. That said, some of the sellers cut me some pretty sweet prices anyway. So.
And they also have bootlegs.
Well,
bootleg pins.
They do, but there are ways you can check for those. Because the Disney company got wise to the bootleggers, and so they started doing things like not only texture stamps on the back, but actual laser encoding serial numbers on the backs of the pins, as well as an embossed, this is, limited edition, of 1,000, and they'll be sealed in official sealed Disney stamped bags. So most of the bootleggers don't bother going to all that trouble. They just spew out sort of a copy, and like the edges will be all rough and the back will be all kind of scratchy. It's like obviously not a real thing.
Ooh. Bootleg Transformers is a little hard to pull. They have them too, but
yeah.
But yeah,
you can just go to the dollar store and look in the toy bin, and you'll find bootleg Transformers. It'll be called like Gladimorphers or something.
or a Walmart. They have bootleg G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
Well, they did have the G.I. Joe set of the original 4 G.I. Joes, but that would have been ridiculously high priced.
Yeah.
Even it was a re-release. 2000.
Yeah, the original G1 stuff, mint in box, is like that almost never even comes up on the market anymore.
They did have some of the earlier stuff, but yeah, we were not in the market for anything expensive.
No.
So
no.
Yeah.
Like I said, I ended up spending more than I intended, although I have no regrets. There was one pin in particular that I had promised myself if anybody there had it, I would totally buy it. Unless they were asking for the moon for it or something. But I got a fair price for it.
I saw the Seacons earlier, and it wasn't like a splurge. I'd been looking for them. So. Yes.
But I did impulse buy an official PVC Chuck E. Cheese coin bank from the late 80s, early 90s.
We never showed this stuff, did we?
You saw me buy it.
No, but I'm just thinking this film is going to be hilarious because there's not going to be any
Oh, well, that's
of the merchandise.
That's because it's out in the car.
Yeah,
But,
I got
well,
the sequence over there.
it's Chuck E. Cheese. It was one of those things that like you could get like if you wasted $30 worth of quarters on skee ball and you got enough tickets, you could get like this cheapo plastic PVC coin bank, which now you have no coins left to put in it because you blew them all getting this thing. And I was thinking, well, I'll just wait until I'm a middle-aged man and I'll pay money for it. That's what I'll do. Oh, but at least now I've got some official Chuck E. Cheese tokens I can put in it.
Yes. Yes, got that. Yeah, the Star Trek figures and the Transformers. Yeah, so... And then the burger.
Yep.
Yes. There was a lady from Farscape there, but
oh yeah, and she actually didn't have much of a line because I don't think as many people knew who she was. Apparently, she hosted like there was this Jim Henson Creature Shop reality show that was like Creature Maker or for whatever it's called. I forget because I missed out on watching it, but she hosted that I guess, as well as acted in Farscape. But I never saw so much as, I think, more than 2 episodes of Farscape, so I had no idea who she was. And it's always kind of embarrassing when you jump in a line and they're like, hi, and you're like, hi, you. I want your autograph, but I don't know why.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily do that, but
but I mean, that's kind of the subtext, and it's clear that, like, you don't really know who they are. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah, well, last year they had, last August, I should say, they had, what is last year? They had Shirley from Laverne and Shirley. And
I missed out on that one. I wasn't there for that
another one. March was, of course, the disease.
Yes.
But who was the guest star?
The guest there was Lando Calrissian.
Was that the Lando one?
I believe so, because that was the one where I got sick.
Lando, what it was?
Yep, Billy D. Williams. And I didn't wait in the line because again his line was ridiculous. And the thing is, no disrespect.
Was that actually last year or the year before? Because I thought Billy D. Williams last year, the one, because I thought March of 2014 was some Power Ranger guy. We weren't even interested in who it was. So
well, he was there too. It was the same con. But no disrespect to Mr. Williams because much love, but he clearly didn't really want to be there that day. He had his big old sunglasses on and he was kind of like slumped in his chair and he was kind of just, honestly it looked like maybe he'd had a little too much Colt 45 the night before, we don't know.
Colt 45.
But that's the thing, if I was going to wait in line, as much as I grew up absolutely loving Star Wars, the one that I would have got, he had actual 8x10 glossies of himself from the Colt 45 commercials that he did back in the 80s. I totally would have got him to sign one of those.
I think Billy D. Williams, wait a minute. When was the Catwoman lady?
That was the year before that.
Tim. Oh,
yeah,
Tim.
Tim wasn't there for Billy D. Williams.
Tim. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that was the con where I got sick and then you got sick afterwards. And again, I opted not to wait in the line just because like his line was really long. And there were these weird people. There was that guy in front of you who was like nuts.
Yeah, but that's like last year. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm setting the context for why I didn't wait in the line, because there were a lot of crazy people in it, and it was going really slow. And
Tim wasn't at that one?
Pretty sure he wasn't. He might have showed up towards the end of it. I remember talking to him out in the parking lot. Maybe that was the time.
Ooh. Hmm.
But
T. Williams.
But yeah, I would have loved to have gotten more autographs at these things, but usually by the time it's like, all right, well, let's go wait in line, then I've already blown all this money. So that's what happened to me today, was I spent more than I promised myself I would, but no regrets.
You wanted that one pin.
Yes. So yeah, and then after we were done with that, we went and got In-N-Out burgers at the Eastridge location, which is...
Near Eastridge, yeah.
Yeah, crowded as all get out. There was some kind of like military cadet school prom or graduation or something going on, and it was just a nut house when we got in there. I think somebody just about killed us I was trying to get past the drive-through line. This lady thought I was going to cut, so she's like, just really aggressive. But,
she just wasn't kidding.
Yeah, maybe, but it was worth it because I thought the burgers were pretty good.
Yeah.
Even if I accidentally said grilled onions instead of raw onions, usually I get the raw. But
I can't have those.
I think you should.
Immediately
You
out.
should eat an entire raw onion like an apple.
Awesome.
Awesome.
No.
Yes.
It would literally be coming out the other immediately.
That's what I mean. Do it for science.
Nah. Anyway, so
But yeah, so it was a good show, I thought. We got separated for about 2/3 of it, yeah, which is usually what happens. Is like I get sidetracked looking at Disney stuff, and he gets sidetracked at a Transformers booth, and then like a half an hour goes by, and it's like, oh.
I kept calling you. I kept telling you where it was.
Yeah, and I kept missing your calls because every single time you called, I was like in the middle of swiping my Visa card for somebody.
Oh, you used to card in there. Well, see, I did it the smart way. I took out only as much money as I was going to spend in cash, so that when I went in there, it didn't feel like I wasn't spending any money by running cards.
Oh, well, I'm very well aware of what I spent, and I did have a budget in mind, and I did not break that. But I had promised myself I was going to be like really penny pinching and, you know, only just maybe get this one pan and maybe a couple of those. But I kept running into stuff that was like, oh my God, that! I promised myself I would buy that if I ever saw it. And, so,
yeah. Like Seacons.
yeah, but, you know, by and large, I'm pretty frugal, so I splurge now and again. It does not hurt me. Plus, I got paid yesterday, so that's good.
Paid.
I got paid.
I paid too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're saying.
I don't know. We got sidetracked. We were talking about the toy show.
Toy show, yeah. They had lots of Transformers, and I was tempted to go and swipe a card and buy, of course. And I didn't do it because I got close to a lot of them, and they were the ones that were cheaper were the ones that were damaged.
Exactly. Damage.
Ew, the guys when I went up there, they could tell that I knew what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh yeah, this guy probably sells them or something, you know, on eBay or something. Or he knows what's what.
Mm-hmm. Which you gotta figure that.
And I did years ago, but then I collected more than I sold, and now I have a collection that I've played with more than actually.
Yeah, but you put them to good use. Or film them.
Played with them. We play them, yeah.
Yeah.
Or film them again. Actually. But yes, Transformers. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was Toy Show 2015. It was fun. We opted not to do the
Super Toy.
we didn't do the autographs this time around. But
Linda Blair was the
yeah, Linda Blair was there, and
not there tomorrow though.
no, just say, well, I won't be there tomorrow either. But
I probably won't go there tomorrow.
No disrespect intended to Linda Blair. We just didn't feel like waiting in the line.
No, great. Just drop it down.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Toy show. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Wish we could like put up like what we saw. I guess I'll put up some
of
the pictures.
I'm figuring you can take the audio from some
Post-production.
of this and they'll like do like
Montage
overdub it
of
with a montage of clips from the actual toy show.
Yeah.
You have something to look at other than just us sitting here for like 15 minutes.
Yeah. That'll be
I figure you're probably going to cut most of this stuff out anyway, the parts where we're just rambling.
yeah, like about politics. Or
Yes.
something.
That's why I don't mind saying stuff like that, because I figure it's just going to hit the cutting room floor anyway. In fact, I could go full frontal nudity right now. You know,
And that might end up in the
and
movie.
You would just see like a really, really big sensor bar. Just
Yeah, ridiculously oversized.
exactly.
It's all this big.
In fact,
That'd be
for all
10.
you know, I already did, and it already got cut out. You don't know.
Yeah, I just saw the ginormous junk.
Exactly.
Okay, this is Calcat, and I'm recording. And what this is just a little 5 or 6 minute slideshow at the end of the toy show that Marx Cards and I attended almost 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And finally getting around to putting it on video to air it. Yes, so the slideshow this pretty much features what I took pictures of at the slideshow. It's a toy show. And yeah, you get to see some of the characters in costume and some of the figures and things like that. People walking around. People were wary of cameras this time, so there wasn't a lot of pictures. Here are the ones on the end of the video. Here's the ones that have lots of selfies, and none of them nude, even though we claimed there were nude ones. There were nude. So, and yeah, we enjoyed the toy show. Marx cards made a lot of money on the pins, Disney pins, and the two or three of them were worth $60, which was cool. It turns out. As for the Seacons, together as the box set, they're $200. So, hey, I got them for $40, but without the weapons. So it's probably another $40 to get all the weapons, the rest of them. So that's good too. Yes. So they're Transformers. They're these sea nautical Transformers, and they had a lot of interesting things. They had the bootlegger table, of course, and all that, and with the bootleg videos movies. And I was able to score the Barbarian Queen movie, which was Shogun Warrior Women when I saw it in the 80s. And the guy said, it was a life-changing experience, wasn't it? Oh, and I was like, yeah, that's funny, haha. But it is funny that it was, back in the 80s you could sneak into rated R Grindhouse movies, and they didn't care. And I did. And we saw softcore sort of rated R, like, ooh, these bad guy chicks are kicking ass, aw. There was badass chicks kicking butt. Yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much yeah. So the toy show, it was fun, and we didn't get sick afterward. And then we went on and did some Leonard Nimoy retrospective stuff. That is also on there. So, this season so far has been mostly blogs. Hopefully we'll do some comedy later on. And the toy show, there's another toy show later on in the year, so we'll go to that. We'll be on hand for that. Yeah. So, and we'll be at Big Wow, of course, and Baycon. CalCat will be at Baycon. And so, yeah. The slideshow, the toy show, they had Ghostbusters vehicles out there. Somebody turned a limo into a Ghostbusters vehicle. They had an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. car, which wasn't Marvel approved. Yeah, this was the slideshow of the toy show at Super Toy Show and Fair Show